There is a crisis, an energy crisis brought about by the advocates of net zero in their mission to make sure that we don't release any more carbon dioxide than we need to, because everybody knows carbon dioxide is plant food and we can't be having more and more plant food. Now, in this video, I'm going to be talking about a new energy source that's environmentally friendly, that's decentralized, and you can get in and make some money from it too.
NordVPN is becoming more than just a VPN. Threat protection will guard your device against malicious websites, malware, trackers, and intrusive ads, even if you're not connected to a VPN server at the time. Step up your cybersecurity and stay safe.
I invested £25,000. Today, that investment is worth £5 million.
Say hello to our hero, the Hydrogen Energy Release Optimizer. Limitless power, zero emissions.
Hi everybody, it's Crypto Rich, working with you to get rich with crypto, filling our pockets with crypto profits. This is not about crypto, it's not even about climate change. But in this video, I'm going to be talking to a very good friend of mine about Hero. I've done videos on this before. This is the Hydrogen Energy Release Optimizer. Now, before I introduce him, please subscribe, follow me on Twitter, CryptoRichYT, join my official Telegram announcements channel. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please come over to bit.ly/CryptoRichOdyssey and bit.ly/CryptoRich3Speak, censorship-resistant platforms. Hey, Alex, thank you so much for making yourself available.
Hi, Rich. Nice to be back.
Nice to be back. Nice to have you back. We've done quite a few videos together, including about gold and silver, and also about Hero, the Hydrogen Energy Release Optimizer. And you knew, do you want to say in a nutshell, because you knew about it many, many years ago, it's a startup. Do you just want to say what your returns have been?
Sure. I invested just over 20 years ago. It was a research and development company at the time. To be honest, to be fair, it still is, because they are almost at the point of commercialization, but they still, even today, haven't yet had an income. So 20 years ago, they had one product, which was Fusion. I invested at the time. I bought in at $4. This is Australian dollars because it's an Australian company. The shares are now trading at over $1,000. So I've made over 200-fold increase.
Wow, that's like crypto type returns.
Yeah, and most of those returns have been in the last 5 years, because 6 years ago, they discovered what you've mentioned, Hero, which is a hydrogen-based technology that will basically produce clean, renewable energy with no nasties.
Right.
And as you say, whether you believe in climate change or not, government and industry are crying out for decarbonized heat and power. And that's what this provides.
Well, let's have a look at this article that you brought to my attention. This is in Forbes, and I shall link to this in the description below. New way to get 700 C degrees heat and electricity from hydrogen without burning it. If you're interested, you can go through this article yourself. You can check out the company, their website, starscientific.com.au. And then if you're interested in being able to purchase any shares, you can do so through Alex. I know a few of my viewers and subscribers have done that, because the shares, although it's a regulated, registered company, the shares aren't listed. They're not publicly available. It's just a handful of private investors. Okay, so this is New Mexico in the US is a rich oil state, second only to Texas. And what they're doing is they are going to be using Star Scientific's hydrogen to heat energy process. So they want to make energy that's clean, meaning energy with low carbon emissions, although carbon dioxide is not a pollutant and it's non-toxic. But they mean without using oil or natural gas. Hydrogen is clean, releases no carbon emissions all the way through, no carbon emissions, okay. But it's clean. It does release nitric oxides when the temperature is high enough.
They're not talking about Hero there, just to be clear. They're talking about burning hydrogen.
Right, okay. Hydrogen can also be unclean if it's made from methane, which is cheap, or the hydrogen can be clean if it's made by electrolyzing water. This is green hydrogen, which is expensive. So water is 2 hydrogen molecules with 1 oxygen molecule, H2O, and the idea is that you separate the two, releases energy, and what you get as byproducts, heat, hydrogen, and oxygen. New Mexico wants hydrogen to heat energy from Australia because the country has a new method to convert hydrogen into heat without combustion, i.e., without burning the hydrogen.
Exactly.
Yes, this system can be used directly in heavy industry or converted into electricity for just about any electrical application. Now, Alex, my understanding from previous conversations we've had about this is that it's, like a power station is centralized. You take the oil, the coal, the gas, you send it to a power station or a nuclear power station, uranium, and then you generate the heat and then the energy, and that's piped through electricity cables or whatever to other, where it's needed, towns, cities, factories.
Yes.
This works differently.
Yes. Very briefly, the discovery that they made is that there's a catalyst. It's a true catalyst, and when a substrate is coated with this catalyst and mixed with hydrogen and oxygen, the byproduct is heat. In fact, there's only two things. One is heat, and the only other byproduct is steam. So there's nothing else that's created.
Right.
And the heat that's created is like 700 to 800 degree heat within minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, literally industrial scale quantities of heat. And that's basically what a power station does.
Yeah, and then also it's a relatively small application or unit.
It's a very small unit, so it can be decentralized. You could put one unit and just generate the electricity that you need, for a factory, for a power station. There are roughly 20,000 power stations operating globally at the moment, working on gas or oil or coal. Those could be turned overnight into non-polluting, emissionless power units run on Hero. And it would run on a fraction of the footprint, a fraction of the cost. And as I say, the only byproduct would be
heat and steam.
Heat and steam. So
yeah, but it could also be that you can have those units, say, in a factory, or perhaps even spread about through a town or something, providing energy locally. Okay, so let's have a look. An Australian company called Star Scientific has announced it will start building a factory in Albuquerque, New Mexico, in 2024. The investment is about $100 million, and the plant will eventually employ 200 employees to work at a 50-acre site that will contain up to 10 buildings that will house all the way from R&D to management. Now, I imagine that when this was announced, the price of the shares went up.
Not yet. It probably did. Private company works is that it's just the same as a public company, but you can't buy shares from a broker. You have to buy shares from someone that owns shares and is willing to sell them. I just happen to be someone that is looking to release a bit of my profit and diversify, so I'm looking to sell. Now, there is actually a mechanism, a portal being opened shortly, where shareholders will be able to sell their shares through that portal. Until that opens, then I'm happy to sell them to whoever is interested. Anyway, in terms of your question, the company only report on price rises after the effect, and this is a very recent article, so I'm sure that any deals that have been done since this article, yes, probably will have increased. Until I get an email from the company saying we've now reported that we've now sold a number of shares at this new price, I'm happy to sell them at the price that they were before this article came out and before all the recent media interest, which is $1,033.
$1,033. Okay, very good.
Australian dollars, that is.
Australian dollars. All right.
I should say as well that you mentioned there. Just go up a bit again. It says that they will be starting a factory in Albuquerque. Just to be clear, that this is their US base, their first US facility. So until now, they're an Australian company. So their base is in Australia. They also have offices in Switzerland and Singapore. But this is the first time that they're branching out into North America. New Mexico is actually going to be the base for North and South America until they have a base in South America.
Right. Okay. So this represents a significant expansion into another part of the world.
Yeah, this is basically their rollout of their Hero technology.
Yes.
And this is another major milestone in that.
Yes. Okay. Now, like you said earlier, they made this discovery while studying nuclear fusion. They found a catalyst that encourages hydrogen gas to combine with oxygen gas to form water. So I said earlier how you could split water and you get hydrogen and oxygen, but this is even better because you take hydrogen, add oxygen, and then you get water, and the reaction releases a large amount of heat. It's really chemistry, not physics. In a lab demonstration, as you said, within just a few minutes, the catalyst became hot and orange in color as its temperature shot up to 713 C degrees. That's incredible. And it's way more than is needed for domestic. I think for domestic, you need to be able to get up to 70 degrees, to heat your home or something.
The same with the food industry. When they sort of went public with this, they imagined that they would be doing deals with governments, which they have, and industry for power plants. But actually, one of the first industries that got in touch with them, because they've been inundated with requests, was the food industry, who said, "Well, we need heat for producing, manufacturing what we do, but we don't need anywhere near as much heat as a power plant, and therefore we won't need as much hydrogen or oxygen. So, do you think you might be interested in doing a pilot project with us?" And so they've done a pilot project with a group of 14 major food groups.
Can you name any of
them?
Mars a day helps you work, rest, and play. The Mars Chocolate Company, okay, in Australia. All right, the catalyst that they use is their proprietary invention. It's patented. The process is called HERO, which stands for Hydrogen Energy Release Optimizer. Any temperature up to 700 degrees can be used to heat homes and offices, but it can also heat water into steam to drive turbines that produce electricity. So you're getting heat and then you're getting steam, and then you can use the steam to generate electricity. There's going to be no carbon emissions in the entire process. Great. All right. Well, there you go. So how does HERO compare with a hydrogen fuel cell? A hydrogen fuel cell has an anode and a cathode, and it looks a bit like a battery action. Now, I'm talking like I know what an anode and a cathode is. I don't, but never mind. The system uses a platinum catalyst, which is an expensive part. Platinum is very, very expensive and in limited supply, unlike hydrogen, which is the most abundant element in the universe, apparently. Fuel cells produce electricity and heat, but the heat is rarely used. Also, the electrical power is generally too small for hard-to-abate sectors, where HERO should have an advantage. The rest of the industry, called industry combustion, is addressable by electrification with batteries according to Rystad Energy. Fuel cells and HERO should have opportunities here. Now, some of this I don't understand. But if people want to know more, they can, and we'll let people know how they can contact you. There's an affiliate link in the description below. That link is bit.ly/HERO investment, bit.ly/HERO investment. And then what happens? You get a chance to have a conversation with Alex and have all your questions answered. And like I said earlier, a few of my viewers have done that. And as far as I know, have been very satisfied with the process. Okay, fuel cells have a relatively high efficiency compared with a coal-fired plant, like almost twice as efficient. But HERO is going to be even more efficient. Star Scientific are bullish on HERO. Hydrogen can generate enough heat to be used to fire industrial processes like a cement plant. It also has applications in other hard-to-decarbonize sectors like long-haul shipping. Oh, wow, you could use it, I suppose, for a steamship or something, because it's not very, very large. So could you have portable applications for this?
Yes. I don't know too much about what they're planning on that. They've got lots of irons in the fire. I mean, like I said, they've been inundated with requests around the world, and their issue at the moment is getting to them all, quickly enough. And how quick can they roll this out? The demand is there. There's $7 trillion a year demand, even today, for decarbonized heat.
Yes, that is just incredible, because what are we talking about here? We're talking about the holy grail of energy production. It's safe. It's decentralized. It doesn't require a hell of a lot of infrastructure, and it's clean. Because there's no pollutants. Burning coal, burning oil, burning gas does produce pollutants from carbon dioxide and methane. They produce other pollutants. Okay, let's go over here. This is bit.ly/HERO investment. And the website, that link will take you to this website. And then what people can do is click on this to schedule a call with you, Alex.
Yep.
And how does the process work?
They just book a call with me. We have a chat. They can ask any questions they want. I can send them whatever information they want. I've got old investor packs, various projections on future dividends, and if they're interested, then we can progress, and they can buy some of my shares. It's quite a simple process. We just fill in a share transfer form, send it off to Australia. They get a share certificate back, and then they get a piece of the action. They get to be part of this world-changing technology, and they'll make some serious return as well. I talked about
Possible. No guarantees here, right? And do not
there's no guarantees.
To lose.
There's no guarantees. However, as someone who's been a shareholder for 20 years, I can see where it's going. There's been lots of external valuations, lots of big companies that have come in and had a look and said, "Okay, yep, we'll put our name to that." I can go through all the details. The 200-fold return that I've had so far, if someone invested now, they would expect to make a greater return, in my opinion, and in the opinion of many professionals who've had a look at it. So,
wow, okay. Because also you went in when it was just an idea, but now they've actually got products, and they've got governments and industry.
Yep. They've won awards. They've done deals with governments. They've got pilot projects. Their commercialization plans are literally being rolled out now. So dividends should start in the next 2-3 years, and it's looking very rosy. 20 years ago, it was a punt. At this point now, it's a done deal. So there's no guarantees. You never know what might happen, but it's about as much a done deal as anything I've seen.
Now, is this open to people in the United States or the UK or Germany or Ireland? Can they purchase shares? Yeah. Okay, and it's a registered, limited, fully regulated Australian company.
Yeah.
How does the money transfer work between you and this other potential buyer who wants to buy shares off you? Now, can people in other parts of the world, not Australia, purchase shares, like if they're from the US or the UK or Europe?
Sure. Yep. Okay. Yeah, there's no
geographical restriction, unless possible North Korea, but then I don't think anybody in North Korea is watching this. If you are from North Korea, let me know in the comment below, and don't use your real name. All right. Hopefully they're probably using a VPN, if VPNs are allowed in North Korea. It's a fully regulated company by Australian regulations and stuff, and people are buying the shares off you, not the company. So yeah, they can contact you, arrange a call through this website, but how does the payment work?
So once we've got a board approval letter, I have to send off a share transfer form, which we both sign. That gets emailed off to the company secretary. At the next board meeting, it gets approved. I get an email with a board approval letter on company letterhead, and at that point, then they can see, oh, okay, fine, this is a done deal. And at that point, we use an escrow service. They pay the escrow service the money. I send the form off to the escrow service, and when they receive both, then they release both.
Right. Okay.
And then that gets sent to Star. Star send it to a company called Computershare, which issues the share certificates for all the Fortune 500 companies, and the share certificate gets sent directly by post to the new investor.
Right, okay. And the payment is made by fiat currency, right?
Yes.
Alex, anything else you want to say before we finish up?
No, just that it's a fascinating company, it's a fascinating technology, it's a great opportunity. The opportunity won't be around for too much longer. I've been willing to sell up to 1,000 shares. I've probably got a couple of hundred left. Once they're gone, yeah, I won't be selling anymore. I've only sold 10% of my shares, and once the portal opens, then there probably won't be many shares available. So it's a private company. It's limited opportunity. So if you see something that you like and you fancy having a bit of it, take some action.
Yeah, that starts just by having a conversation with Alex, having all your questions answered, so you're satisfied. And of course, this is not investment advice. Don't put in any more than you can afford to lose. And leave a comment, share this video, spread, like, all that business. And between now and when I see you next, thank you, Alex. Please keep filling your pockets with authentically green energy. This is Crypto Rich and Hero Alex signing out. All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye.